Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Code with Rajeshwari. In today's video, we are going to discuss about @ObservedObject in SwiftUI. This is a powerful way to manage and share state across multiple views. So first let's talk about what is ObservedObject. ObservedObject is a property wrapper that allows us to store state in an external class and share it between multiple views. Unlike state, which is a local to a single view, ObservedObject makes it possible for different parts of the application to access and modify, share the data. And that's the best part. SwiftUI will automatically update all views that depend on this object whenever the data changes. Let's build a simple example to understand how this works. This is where we will store and share this data. Means I am going to create a counter model class conforms to a observable object to enable observing changes to its properties. So I am creating a published property wrapper on count. Whenever the count value changes, SwiftUI will automatically re-render the view and declaring a increment function and decrement functions method to modify the count value. Now let's create our views and make sure they use this shared object. Inside the increment state, I'm just making the count as incremented with +1 and inside the decrement function -1. So now let's create the views. So inside the content view, I'm just creating a new instance of counter model. Create a new instance of counter model and makes it the source of truth for this view. So going to create a state object. So here we should not use state because we are going to create observed object here. So we have to use state object and with variable of counter. So here is where I am creating an instance. And inside the vstack, I am just creating a text with counter value that displays the current count value from the counter object. So let's create the count object here. So making it as large title so that it should be visible on the screen. And then creating a button increment. So when tap calls the increment function and the counter object. Then updating the displayed count here. And with the button decrement similar to the increment button but calls the decrement function. So look at that. The count is updated when the count should be updated when the user clicks on increment button. In a same way, it should get decrement on the decrement button option. So now let's create and see how this works. Here, if I run this program, let's see what I should see in the preview option. So it should visible in the screen with the vstack as text. So inside the vstack, I'm just taking a text, and inside the hex stack, I'm just taking two buttons with increment and decrement options. Let's add some padding and foreground color to see in a more visual way, and trying to give the foreground color as pink and for the same for decrement button as well. So here, look at that. The count is updated instantly. So when I click on the increment decrement buttons, let's try with the blue color. And if you see here in the preview, so it was printed with the background color as blue. I'm going to change the text color as white so that it will be visible in a good way. So change, let's try to see. So the count is updated instantly because they both are using the same observed object. So here is the key points. Data binding. First, when a property marked with the published object, the view will automatically updates to reflect a new value. If you use the state management with a state object within a view, ensure that the counter model instant is managed by the view and will persist across view updates. So let's talk about when we should use. So if you want to share the data between multiple views, or if you want a single source of truth for your data. Another example is if you wanted to store more complex logic in a separate classes. In these scenarios, you can use observed object. But when we should not use this, the state is only used in a single view. So if you don't want to share any kind of value for the multiple views, you can simply use @state. And if you need global state, if you wanted to have the global state, you can go with environment object instead. So I will cover environment object in upcoming videos. So be sure to subscribe.